All right, welcome in. We're in Oakman, Alabama, here at Oakman High School, and we're talking toughness today. It's Fayette County game week here on Go Wildcats with head coach Ryan Hall. Okay, Coach, so we've passed the midway point of the season. Injuries obviously add up, build up. Exhaustion is building at this stage. It's just a reminder that of the importance of toughness, a spirit that at the end is unbreakable. Let's talk about the importance of that.
Yeah, it's real important in football, but it's even more important in life, and I think they're interrelated, and that's what I love to do. I mean, I'm really passionate about coaching football and coaching any sport, but I'm probably more passionate about coaching life and trying to take everything that we get in this game and relate it to what's going to happen later on in life and how can you use these things to help you down the road. And so that's what we've talked about a lot these last few days is, keeping our spirit, having an unbreakable spirit means no matter what happens, I'm going to keep the same mindset and focus and attention to detail, and I'm going to stay committed to what I said I was going to commit to long ago, even when the times are tough. And so, I think back to in James, and just to summarize, there in chapter 1, verse 2 through 4, it says, count it all joy, consider it joy when you meet these trials, that the endurance and stay in the course will make you complete. And that's a summarization of it. But what for us, what does that mean in life? That means, should we be happy when bad things happen? That's not really what that's saying. It's about the word consider there. Means to lead your mind, think the right way. It's human nature when bad things happen to blame somebody else, to pout, to feel sorry for yourself. But considering it joy means I'm going to lead my mind to, I know that this trial is going to help me one day if I endure and I can continue. That's the only way I can become complete. And for us in football terms and relating it to football is for us to be the best team we can be. Trials are going to happen, and we've got to endure through them, and we've got to take the right mindset and consider it as a means for us. This is part of our journey. That loss is part of our journey. It's part of our narrative. It's part of our story. And whatever that story ends up being, whether it's 6 months from now, 2 years from whatever, this is part of it. And we've got a choice to make to endure and tough our way through it by handling that adversity the right way. And then that story in the end, hopefully we can become that complete team. But I know if we don't endure it and we don't handle it the right way and we don't take the right mindset to it, we won't become that team that we're looking for. And that parlays into life. There's no part of life that doesn't relate to. In terms of your personal life and how you live day to day, there's going to be tough times. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be trials in your professional life, in your relationships, in your spiritual life, whatever it is, there's going to be trials, and how you think about, manage, maintain those mentally, that's what's going to end up being how your story is written. And so we want to make sure our players understand that and try to use this as an opportunity to learn and grow. Nobody here wants to lose a game. Like that's the whole point. It's not we're happy about losing the game, but when we do lose a game, now we're faced with this choice. What do we do with it? How do we approach the next step? And for us, I hope that we count it as joy, and we lead our mind to the fact that if we take this and use it in the right way, this can be a huge benefit for us down the road, whether it be in a football game this year, next year, 2 years from now, or in a situation in life 8 years from now. And so that's kind of our take on it, and toughness and enduring and how we want to use this as a lesson for us to be better down the road.
Okay, so label it joy, label it an opportunity, part of the whole. Talk quickly, just the last few seconds here about this idea. How have you seen that play out this week? How are you intentionally trying to help them build it, and how can we all move from that theoretical into practical?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the only way you build that is you have to go through it, and when things happen, I like to use the word, you can either go through it or you can grow through it. And so something bad happens, I've got to use that as a growing opportunity, but you have to have those trials happen before you can work on them, talking and sharing and teaching, and those are and using examples. Those are all great, but until you have to be down in the fire and in the moment of adversity and make those choices, that's really the only path to it. That's the only practical way to learn to handle it. And it comes from mindset, the way you think, the way you approach it and think and deal with those trials of life. So this week for us is just kind of making our players aware of it and coaching body language, coaching attitude, coaching energy, coaching same things we were coaching when we were winning those 3 games in a row. Nothing changes. We go back to work. We stay focused. And we know in the back of our mind that this setback can be a huge propel us forward somewhere down the road if we use it and handle it the right way.
All right, very, very good. Helpful to us all for sure as we go through life, and I appreciate those insights. Hope that you'll keep watching as Coach will break down some game film, and we'll talk about tonight's game against Fayette County.
We're going to look at some clips from the game Friday night at Winterboro. This was the opening kickoff and a great way to start the game. This was not a called onside kick, but a sky kick, and Brady just gets it kind of over there in that dead area. We do a good job of running. I think that's Bridger Upton sliding and making the pick up there and giving us the ball there on the 40-yard line. And, you know, a few plays later, we're able to drive down here. We trade the formation and run our power play and score the ball. So that kickoff led to this touchdown. Kaysen does a good job of fitting it right up there in the funnel. Do a good job of getting that guy dug out there. Aiden Martin on the block. Peyton McLemore and Trace Cagle leading up through there. Really good job right here by our X. I think that's Rick Johnson right there getting on that last block on 12, pinning him in and allowing our back to get in the end zone. So really proud of that. The big play by Aaron Hanley. He was our defensive player of the game. If you watch him right here, he's going to come off the ball. Okay, shed the block, get in the backfield. Right here, 75. Shed the block, get in the backfield, and really drag their ball carrier to the ground. Just a physical play, but a great job of fighting off that block. You know, Aaron's a very tough defensive lineman, and he plays with great energy and effort. He's phenomenal, and we're really proud of him in the way he played Friday night on defense. Here's our second touchdown. This is a 4th and 10 play. We just threw a comeback to Rick over into the boundary, and he slipped and fell, and we didn't get the play we needed. So we come back, and the corner, hoping the corner bites up on the comeback. You watch Tyler does a good job running the hitch and pulling the corner down just enough so Trace can get it over the top. Great catch by Luke going up and getting that at the high point. Boom, good ball placement by Trace. Good protection up front. And it's just a good ball play right there to score the touchdown. Peyton McLemore had some big plays Friday night. You can see right here he runs through. And just very disruptive. We got 3 guys back there in the play, but they're running a little Sally play where they're trying to hand it back off to the wing back. Peyton gets good penetration, finds the football, and just finishes with a good, solid tackle. Here's our 3rd touchdown here. We're second half here. We kind of spread them out with the trips, trying to get people out of the box. You can see they've left a void here over to the weak side, so we had a lot of weak side runs Friday night in the second half as they adjusted to the strong side. Trace does a good job of getting up in there. Landon Lee with the lead block on the counter play really should have kicked, but just getting in there, getting a body on a body. A lot of pullers through there. Trace does a good job of running through an arm tackle and finishing with a touchdown. Here was another big play in the game. This was late. The game's kind of gotten back close. Felt like this gave us some momentum. We got the ball back and drove it down. We just couldn't connect on the field goal. But Peyton McLemore up here at the top of the screen, good job stretching with the rollout, sprint out, stretch, and then just finishes off with a good physical tackle. Really big play. Felt like that could have been a big point in the game to get us some momentum. Disappointed, okay, not the outcome we wanted. Certainly Winterboro had a lot to do with that. They had a great plan, did a great job of exploiting some things against us. And for us, we just got to get back to work and continue to try to improve each week, and that's what our focus will be.
All right, Coach, so disappointing outcome this past week on the road at Winterboro, come up short 26-20. Let's talk quickly about the game and how the team has responded.
Yeah, just felt like Winterboro made one more play than we did. You know, we felt like we controlled the pace of the game. We had 60 offensive snaps, and they had like 33, I think. And so, you know, when you look at those numbers, it's kind of where we want to be. We want to control the pace and take the ball and carry it, keep the ball away from them a good bit. And they had some really good skill. They had some guys that were, to me, they were probably the fastest team that we've played all year. And so, keeping the ball away from them was a big deal, and I felt like we did that for most of the game there. We led 20-6 in the second half, and kind of everything was rolling, and then they got loose on a play and then got loose on another play, and next thing you know, it's 20-20, and we're in a ball game here. And, at the end there, we drove it down, had a big penalty that backed us up out of field goal range, missed the field goal, wide left a little bit. Brady really did a good job. I thought, it was a 37-yarder, his first field goal in a game, and to get it close, I was proud of him. I know he'll get another shot, and 100% confident that he'll make it. The penalty kind of backed us up from about a 27-yarder to a 37-yarder, and that kind of made that a little more difficult. But then they get the ball back, and they made the final play under a minute to go in the game. And so, hats off to them and their coaches and players, and do a really good job. Some things we didn't do well in the game, and that's my responsibility as the head coach is, we didn't tackle well, and that's on me. I've got to make sure we tackle well. That's my job. And we didn't do some things right on offense. We had some busts and didn't play with great technique up front at times, and that's my job to make sure we do that. And so we'll go back to work and continue to work the rest of the season. But this week, that's been our focus, is correcting those things that we didn't do well. And proud of the kids. We got a resilient bunch. We started 0-2, and they never flinched. They stayed the course, and I feel 100% confident that they'll do that coming off this loss. So.
All right, very good. Let's talk who stood out, who played well, players of the game.
Yeah, our offensive player of the game is Gage Blanton, and just Gage has really played at a high level for several weeks. He's graded up in the 80 percentile, which is really good for us. If you grade an 80 plus, that means you're playing at a really high level. I think he was actually in the maybe 92 Friday night. He didn't have a missed assignment all night, and really did a good job against some tough. They were not huge up front, but they were fast. And so for him to get on a block and stay on a block and with a lot of movement, he did a really, really good job. And so proud of Gage, and not just what he's doing on the field. He's doing a good job in the locker room and leading and just being a guy that shows up every day and consistent. And that's what we're looking for. And I said this at an earlier point, but, intensity is great. But I value consistency over that. Consistency, a guy that shows up every day and does the work, and he's the same from an attitude, from an emotional, mental, physical standpoint, and Gage is doing a really good job of that. Our defense player of the week was Hanley. Aaron made several plays in the backfield, and he's just a tough, strong kid. He's hard to move and does a really good job of getting off blocks and finding the football and making plays, and he did that several times Friday night. And then our do-the-work player who we give to a young man who we feel like goes back to that consistency model. He shows up every day, he does the work, and hopefully at some point he'll be rewarded for it. And Xavier Frazee is our do-the-work player of the week. This week, he's a young man who hasn't played football in our program, but now he's worked his way. You'll see him the remainder of the season. He'll get some snaps, number 19, and put himself in position to play for us on Friday night. So we're proud of Xavier.
All right, congrats to Gage and Aaron and Xavier on their hard work, and thankful to see that on the field on Friday night. So let's talk about tonight's game. That game has been moved. It's no longer tomorrow. It's now tonight, Thursday night, at Fayette County, 7 o'clock kick. Talk quickly about what we can expect.
Yeah, tradition-rich program. Fayette's a great football community. When we go over there, you'll see that they've got great support, really nice stadium. The new coach there, Jared Porter, is a friend of mine. We actually coached together a year at Cordova. He's doing a fantastic job. They're undefeated. They're a big, physical, tough team. And I fully expect it to be a hard-fought battle, where we're going to have to go in there and stand our ground and play with some toughness and edge, because they will. I know they will. Got a good running back, number 6. Quarterback's got a really good arm. And he can run around in the pocket and extend plays and make plays defensively. 2 defensive ends are big, 7 and 89. I really like their 2 linebackers, 3 and 1. They both play hard and play downhill, and they can cause you some problems on those interior runs. So we'll do a good job of getting them moving and try to maybe some misdirection and things like that to try to get them out of their plugs. And if we do that, I feel like we can have success running the ball. But it's a good challenge for us, and I always think of it like this. I mean, these games where you're going into they're undefeated, and for us, what a great opportunity to go in and give them their first loss. And so we're really excited about that challenge and have a ton of respect for them in their program. They do it right, and so we know it'll be a battle. And so region football, and we'll be excited. It'll be a beautiful night, too. I think it's going to feel like football. So it'll be a great night in a great community.
Heard that. Sounds good. And just personal recommendation, if you're headed that way tonight, may want to leave earlier to get to Sam's Smokehouse. Best wings in the state, in my opinion. So enjoy that if you have the time there tonight. But no doubt, perfect atmosphere for football. Thursday night football, not Friday night, but still, what a great great opportunity. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for support all season. This is our final game before a bye week, and so we'll take the week off as the team does and be back the following week. Coach, close us out.
Yeah, as always, through the good and the bad, it's always go Wildcats.